All right, guys. So quickly, I'm gonna do this Facebook Live with Hakim on the the situation from Mandinaring, and that is the death of Omar Baji, and also generally we're gonna discuss about police brutality quickly, right? Um, we have um, we have just um, from visiting the 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 family of Omar, and the information that we receive from both the the villagers and the family is truly disheartening. But first, let's talk about police brutality as a whole, right? We've known that obviously we still on a transition, and we have seen how the police have been weaponized against citizens in this country, and how citizens have been suppressed by the police um, for 22 years. And in the new Gambia, we are trying to strive, and we have seen um, how how is tactics against the people, right? So this afternoon, information came um, to the public that a boy have been beaten to death by the Gambia police force. And then the Gambia police force first sent a quick communications um, tweeting the whole story that okay, the police went after that guy in a hot pursuit or whatsoever they call it. I don't know the police term actually, and then he fell, and then he was rushed to the hospital and he died. That was the police story. When I saw that story, Hakim, when I saw that story, actually, I denied outright that that wasn't true. That was before we go to the village and talk to both the young people and also the family of Omar, right? Because for me, the whole idea is, regardless of Omar's crime, the police is not above the law. And
Yeah.
no part of the law support torture or beating somebody to harm him, talk less of killing the person. We just have enacted the Torture Act, right? The Gambia just enacted the Torture Act, and this afternoon we were just talking about it, that why is it not even retroactive to be able to police past torture cases? But now the act is in place, and then the police continue to make or method torture on people. This is not the first time. All of the gala arrest, all of the gala protesters have been brutalized and tortured both psychologically, emotionally, and physically. And now that we have seen a young Gambian, promising Gambian, according to the family Hakim, have
Yeah.
died out of police torture, right? And I just want us to have this discussion because we went to the village, we have spoke to them, but as we speak right now, information is coming that in fact the paramilitaries have been deployed into this village and arresting anybody that is found doing their business on their own business, right? And they've been arrested. That is a tactic. That is a silence tactic, right? They're trying to neutralize the whole issue because probably the boys are coming out tomorrow to protest, which is supposed to be justified. That a young person from a village, a very promising guy, you know, like they said, he's a laborer and he's already part of the contract that he's doing. He's playing football and he has not been problematic in that village. He has no problem. All what he does is mind his business and do his job. Have been killed or murdered cold
Murdered,
blood by
murdered,
the police.
has been murdered by the police brutally, you know.
You've been with the family. What exactly transpired? What we found the family on a family meeting actually.
Yeah, they were having a meeting or a sort of a discussion, and to our surprise, what the police said before we got to the ground and what we found there was completely different. It's like heaven and earth because the police said the boy died as a result of falling down in a hot pursuit. Like they were running and he fell down and died. But when we got there, the entire community cannot lie that he was beaten. Okay. And what even convinced me was when we had the discussion with, I don't know whether he's a stepfather or I don't know. The guy, like the man
Uncle, that's the uncle,
okay,
yes.
okay, okay, his uncle. He said, looking at the dead body, you can clearly understand that he was beaten because even the neck was swollen. So that was clearly an indication that he was beaten to death. In fact, what I can guarantee he said, or what I understand from it, is that he was stamped on the neck. That was what resulted to his death. That obviously. And looking at that dead body, even us that didn't even see it like live, looking at the picture of the dead body, it is all rough. Even his side was tall. Like that is not normal.
Yes,
That cannot be just somebody
so
falling down. It's not
So
possible.
somebody, Hakim, somebody just sent me a proper picture of the dead body, and I could confirm exactly. I could see how the uncle was, explaining dead body,
Yeah.
especially the neck part of it. That
The
the
neck,
way
yeah.
it was swollen is only stamping on him that will create that. So
Yeah.
Hakim, and this is the thing, right? Reflecting that we need to learn from history, and Gambia have gone through a lot. I said in the beginning, this is how
Yeah.
the April 10/11 student protest started, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the same thing happened. Over 15 students were killed just because they went out to demand for the abuse meted on their colleagues and all of that. And we have seen in Faraba Bantang what happens there as well. It was the same thing. Young people came out to simply demand. And this guy doesn't even do any of this. We were not saying that this guy came out to protest. We're not saying he came out to demand for anything. He was on
Yeah.
his own. Even though if we could agree that he committed a crime, like the whole idea is he has a joint, just a
Yeah.
joint of weed, and then you could have arrested him and take him to the police station, right? And then now I received a different version also that probably I think he was being either abused or slapped by a police officer that he tried to retaliate, and then they attack him and then have to torture him to death. So regardless of his crime, that nobody deserves to be tortured, nobody deserves to be brutalized. And now an innocent young man has been killed by the Gambia police force. And this will set just a normal precedence that the police, the whole idea is we have a police that is regime centered, right? It's just regime centered. They are focused on serving the regime, not protecting lives and properties, which is their primary function. And then,
Yeah.
like Hakim, police only to symbol use. And then, also the other thing is we keep arguing this. There should be a clear-cut definition of authority and power. The police simply think they have power, and then they can exercise that power anyhow they want it. They
Anyhow, they
fail to
want it. Yeah.
understand that that power is driven from an authority, and that authority must be legitimized. I don't
Yeah.
think they understand that even authority is not enough. If the authority is not legitimate, if the authority is not legal, it's not enough for you to carry out anything that is illegal or that is not within the confinement of the law. Now, this is the thing. If the police are smart and the police really know that what they did was within the confinement of the law, when you kill somebody, villagers came out angry. What you are supposed to do is to negotiate. What you are supposed to do is to go to the village and calm them. Why are you further brutalizing? Why are you further arresting young people?
And calm the tension, but rather they didn't do anything to calm the tension, but we rather started calling for reinforcement, start arresting more youths, like 15 to 20. It's not even 10, but 15 to 20 youths were arrested.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Mbola for understanding that's another thing Nyandaka Munjibe, right? Whilst we pursue Omar's case,
Yeah.
I think probably Omar's dead body will be with them until the next 1 month, next 1 week, or we don't know, because
Yeah. Yeah.
if a post mortem calendar, right? What is
Yeah.
important is this coming sign that you're funding kel move from arrest. Mumalo be daming, right? Mumalo be
Yeah.
daming, mumalo be mun condition le kono. Imagine video kono ngajele be brutalize kang ordi be lipa kang ibe barama kang. Now you some daming what they will do to them. Ibe mun kele je muma long at all
What
hakim.
would happen?
And then
What would happen?
amanke ning sifala nga karte fay in 2016. In 2016 lafta mo na wala Gambia kuto wala fale mo falong mu yalon ko tajirinte yabe bannale man sa kundate security force sol use la ka banko dingul batandi ka banko dingul brutalize ka kol ke naraka je sa nyimbe ke kam bi man ke folota keda anu nga kukilim fo man ga counter jang wala in 2000 wala di April 10 11 demonstration mo mun keda jang ni sifala keda banko dingul kam fata dindingol kam fata mu yalon ko ye fulangole mu da ya abuse e fintanang ye balamba ya dandi ye mol faje ye mol baramaje anu victime dol bi ye hani sang wol man justice or no nga farba case fanan ji jenda mu yalan ko di fondinkel findida ke la balamba ya dandi e la keno la ko ye fajang still now case be on
The same thing happened, yeah.
Ngaje Omar Fanamfa. Ite
Yeah.
fe nyim banko bi daka nyade ni nara tajirinte yala bundala aning puru mansa kunda ya Mexico ye banko dimul la nyanto bunya ye banko dimul la nyanto tanka because womu kule mi yalon ko akumaya da bakele mansa ni ye sindi ila doko nyanda kek mundi wolen kalua wolen na kitab buko e ke kalile ko ibe kitab buko nyine marala ibe maralo kala ni kitab buko nyine ibo tankala foka pare ibo la protect la bon niya jibe now we are backsliding like to wawol ka fo backsliding be murukan back
Yeah.
to
Ko.
dictatorship mum yambe murukan tajirinte yala kono anum banku dimul manyana kasi kawoje ite amana nyim ko mba tamandira nyadile
No, maybe yeah, like abo kolyala le pour moye lala, but in fact, mbe baje kanne. Gambia la tanko la fannado comme in the security sector do. Fem man change. You understand? Fem offend man change. Like you got it from Faraba, you understand? And maybe all from Jamfarale. But just last week here, it was from Jabang. Come within that mandina de meme foke. From Jabang now you have mandina. You understand it? Saturday Jamal next day. And it is definitely going to happen. The police will do it. More can in your comfort zone, I will not be affected by this brutality. You will be affected. At a baila, you'll be affected. Because Nimbo Mimbandanum, maybe when the case of Java was happening, he was sitting comfortably. I understand. Was not even expecting something like this will befall him like today. But be offended. He's lifelessly lying at the mortuary. You understand? And he was not even expecting that. So some of us mini alam kung katara sitting comfortably thinking ko okay mini ke famo involved nama or like affect. We are deceiving ourselves. We are clearly deceiving ourselves because whether you involve yourself or not, the brutality of the police will involve you by and force. They will involve you. They
You
don't
know, you know,
care.
you know, Hakim. I used to have this favorite phrase. Ngafu moleko is Saibo today or is Hakim today, and then tomorrow it's you. And then
Good.
say wole promo that come banko dingo nyanta kajele ko nyantol mo buka nyantol di mola. Like we said in human rights that nyantol
Yeah.
buka di mola. It happens in Jabang. It happens in Sanyang. It happens in Mandinaba today. Probably tomorrow is gonna happen in Bansang, in Basse, or elsewhere. And wala
Yeah.
na banku dun nyanda ka wulle ngaje ko na nyanto fon le sa tankano ay nyanto mo buka di mola anu feng mi yalon ko itele tamu idam malaka tankano abuko nganna bagasol tanka jame na bungul kono nganna ko tanka jame so fonsi wuli banku dun ngaje ko man sakunda ya understand ko ntel nga carte o faye nge kije ayji o baro o minister tata nyim banko de nyim banko manke kamara kunda wala ture kunda jambu banku dingul tal anum tajrinte ya nasiyata banko kan wala ning tajinte asera banko kan banko dingul manguli ya bondi rek wala ka promotion because ni ajibe you know probably in the fainting jambi some of us let's say for example Aliuba for example in our last arrest he was being brutalized you know
Yeah. Yeah.
he was being physically
Aluba se
brutalized
fano e bulle di. Mingera aluba la, as a fano gal bulo. Na manke kate fano, as
no
a fano e bulle.
exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine if they miss their target kadundi pick up on it have boy woman kan to me fall so
No, afale na ma pidi ba file pick up kono. Na kumwe ne madu.
every day they make attempts every day they do things that are very harmful and
Yeah.
then brutal to the citizens right and then now this is the thing that we have seen the use of Mandinaba are mobilizing to go out tomorrow but already this night now information was received that the police hold some Mandinaba in fact nobody in Mandinaba can have their freedom right now to walk freely or katama siloka they are all indoors everyone
Okay.
is indoors because nini benta siloka rek they are picking you up and they're taking you and then I think that's also we should call on Gambians just like the way if Gala people are arrested how we run around by tomorrow we should be able to know the young people we will arrest if a station Jumalto and what is
Yeah.
their conditions
Yeah.
and then also we should start talking to lawyers to be able to ensure that they are safe because you know right now I'm talking to somebody that is from Mandinaba giving me a lot of information about the whole situation but the never again mantra that is if you follow the TRC Kajala code the never again mantra is the symbol of that non-repetition, right? Non-occurrence of dictatorship, of brutality, of abuse, of violation of human rights in this
Yeah.
country. And we cannot miss that target because one thing I know with my little knowledge in transitional justice, if a transition backslide back to dictatorship is more dangerous than a fresh dictatorship, right? If we accept for us to go back to dictatorships today, it's gonna be more detrimental than where Jammeh starts from. So Manyana
Yeah.
Sifa
Yeah.
allow. We should be
Yeah.
able to have that citizen awareness that if these things happen, because the police, one thing I keep telling the police, I don't encourage protest or something. But one thing I told the, any day 200 people, 300 people, 400 people take the streets in this country in one zone, wallahi, the police will not be able to contain us. Because at the end of the day, life is precious. If you're talking to that, and then, you know what information I get? That Omar B Somandalam for Kurumba, I pass with their family with Hajarula Casamas. Imagine, right? And then that manifests the information is a very disciplined, hardworking young
very
person
disciplined and
that is
hardworking.
struggling on his own.
Yeah.
Right? And now the police force, because of a joint, you know, which is not even a criminal offense, you could arrest somebody, ya tocho, ya fa, and then go scot-free, and then the IG is sleeping comfortably in his house, or Baro is, and they don't even care. None of them could release a statement. None of them could say anything about it. For example, by
The
now
guy was
probably
arrested.
there should
The
be
guy was.
statement. There should be a statement of remorse from the government, acknowledging that they have had what happened, and then they will do A and B about it. But the more funk, meaning they don't even care about
No,
A.
no, no,
They don't
Mimbije.
find it.
No. Mimbije, they are relying on the statement of the police. You understand? That misleading and that blatant lie that the police posted. That is the statement that the entire state is relying on. Ona, you will not hear a single word from them. You will not even, don't even expect it, even tomorrow. I understand. And I'm even surprised even for Katandi come Amba already your police already deployed in Mandinari near Momo Jeka arrest I don't know, something like that. But that cannot stop people from going to Mandinari tomorrow. Because maybe is the police need to understand that there is no state property in Mandinari that they can say they are protecting. I understand. People have
So,
right to go to that compound.
so
We are going to that compound.
and in fact, that was the point today, right? The point is why did they went to deploy armed policemen there? What is in Mandarin? They could have allowed
That
this, the young people
good,
to take the streets and then show their dissatisfaction. Apart from
good.
that post that looks like some one Koba or something. You know, look like no, that is the honest
Yeah,
truth. Look
definitely,
at
definitely. That is not even a
exactly.
station. We saw it this night. We saw the station.
No,
We saw it.
we went to the station. We
Yeah,
saw this
yeah.
Akamandako Babungo or something, right? So
Yeah, okay.
that's the only thing they attack, and then they have a right to do that. Nobody they were angry. Like you killed somebody, you killed one of them. You
Definitely.
killed one of them outright. It was murder,
Heartlessly.
in
Heartlessly.
cold blood.
Because when they ran after him, the four of them caught him. Yeah, mutale. Yeah, understand. So be yeah, muta. The easiest thing they could have done was Hanatra Ate he was trying to attack them. Or he was slapped and wanted to pay back at the particular officer Mia slapped. You understand? It was four of them. It was going to be very, very easy, purely a grab and take him to the vehicle. But no, ya lipa woleto ye to atongokan ya fa. Tilimbali akon.
Yeah.
That is it. But the police will never come out. Yatandiko, four of our officers will we are going to make sure justice is served. They will never do that.
So
It happened.
yalamunon police on the problem with right. A key phone incriminated ni para Tonya for becomes a problem. That
Good.
sign in Fenko Mufinda and this Soviet Mufinda that the police are highly corrupt. Probably a lot of people will take it from the monetary perspective. It's not just
Yeah.
monetary that is considered to be corrupt. The police lack accountability and transparency.
Transparency.
They're not accountable, and
In
they
fact,
don't.
that is the highest level of corruption.
Exactly. They don't speak
Yeah.
the truth. They don't speak the truth. The police will always manipulate. They keep doing that. Look at our arrest, for example, right? They told me that I was arrested for unlawful, unauthorized press conference in the police premises. And then
Yeah, they said you were
they went
provoking
to
them.
they
They
went
said you
to
were
they
provoking
went
them.
to yes, and then they went to say that I was charged for unlawful
Unlawful
assembly.
assembly and public
So
nuisance.
these are things that they keep doing because they
Yeah.
know they don't do the right thing, but they'll
Yeah.
always find a way to maneuver through to mislead and then set a particular narrative, and now that becomes the problem. In the citizen soul, we easily run with those narratives because most of us are we are very naive. And then one thing for Banku they still justifying the police action. Haramadiya, this is not even about government anymore. Haramadiya fata more new related to that day as a result of Tilimbalia police ole munkala. But people could still have the guts to come out and say, Koha, the police are doing their job. Who told them that it is the police job to kill anybody? What law said the police can even slap somebody within the confinement of their job unless the person attacks them, even in self-defense, there are mechanisms to it. Self-defense doesn't just come like that, especially a harmless individual. One person, 4 police officers could not tell me that they cannot grab that person, handcuff him, and hand it over to the police or to the charge office, right? That is really, really what we are at now, that the police can brutalize people and then go scot-free. Not the state, not anyone can do anything about it. And this is going to take us back to where we came from. This is going to take us back to where we're from, because, you know,
anytime you like you started talking against the government, be it corruption or police brutality, ibukaje ko ila faka banko la tanya to ebola nyini kan ita minje olon ko masakunda mimbe siri wala president mimbe siri imalla fi wala, and this is very sad. You understand? And in most cases, Nimiro kabu molle bala mini alon ko, like you expect something much more better than that. Level-headed people will come with this stupid mindset that okay, alman la fi president wala na albenyina. Come on, like you said, it's not even about politics. And kudo tije mole fada. You understand? Ila banko la loi amata ndila ko almofa. You understand? Ila dino, be it Christianity, be it Islam. You understand? Islam woto sara yon satan diko okay mo yandak fa. But sarto lebije ay mineke ning ay mofa. Nimbo mi fara Omar ama mofa. You understand? Imamuta jenal puru yafa. Yamuta minena joint killing. Amola ja komenda ja ko imagine just a joint. And this is very sad. Just a joint. Other people were caught with maybe a ship full of cocaine. Had this sign they walking free in the streets. Imam Pukewan.
exactly. And they are,
This is sad.
like cases or you throw them under the carpet.
No. I will kind of worry. So, coming, this is sad. So, nyima momo niyo kuya, wala momo ya lango hanisan, you are still trying to justify the actions of the police. Like, if I'm not on live, I'm gonna be giving you a very, it's sad.
No. So that is the thing. And then now, Hakim, so that we continue to monitor the situation, right? And now moving forward, Banco Dungu Simone understand no come the young people in Mandinaring are very angry about what happens. Like I always say that whoever is angry is supposed to be angry. Come funding care father, and funding care coming hani silo kaninga mo move father out of accident or out of I can new care because he has a life to live. He has a dream. Mani aning hamole father. Man of fire understand. So kumu yalan ko sa ya fale, meaning somebody have denied him to grow and then pursue his dreams, right? So also the family, you know, I receive information that I'm talking to somebody that the family will need help because the family cannot even get legal support if they don't need.
So, what's up? Okay, maybe Cybor's network. Was it your network? No, your mic is mute, bro. Your mic is mute. Okay, Cyber is off, and like he was saying, maybe watra model bijang imang selenum. Walang bi mbota nun jele, but dara nun mandina rin birimbe sirin nun nyokang, je mimbe ke kanje. We were like ngataje puru nga long mimbe ke kang je nga kibaro soro. Cyber, you're back?
Yes, Hakim, I think I'm back. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, sure. But your camera is off though. So pour ka kibaro soto wala ka kibar sena soto min keta mandina rin. I understand. But na surprise to bring for that police wala kuma ka mi safe aning amba bring for that nga kuo min taraje ifaratale mang hani kiliya do monding because police wala mi safe holon ko ibe Omar Bayndi kande anata boy o boy lulato wala nara sungala sayala. But unfortunately